Entergalactic is an adult animated Netflix special released alongside hip-hop artist Kid Cudi's album of the same name. Originally promoted as being a TV series, it was recut into a feature-length special split up into 6 chapters like a series, designed to be binge-watched. It's an interesting decision that doesn't really affect the quality of the product at all, and I can only imagine the decision was made by the power brokers at Netflix late in the production to release the series as one package rather than several individual episodes. Presumably, analytics or comments from test audiences suggested that the show would do better as a feature-length special rather than a traditional episodic series, but it is odd to see what clearly is a TV series be released like this. And it's fair to say that Entergalactic is a concept that hasn't really been explored before. We've seen soundtracked albums tied in with movies in the past, but nothing like this. Cudi pitched this as an album that would have the narrative of the show be built around it. A truly original format that just hasn't been done before. And props to Netflix for jumping on board because Entergalactic is really damn good. At its core, this is an adult romantic comedy with an animation style very similar to that of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. The story follows protagonist Jabari, voiced by Kid Cudi himself, a laid-back artist who is moving forward after breaking up with his ex. Each chapter follows Jabari's life, from reconnecting with his ex to falling in love with his new neighbor, Meadow, and trying to balance that with his new job developing a comic book. It's a reasonably fresh take on modern dating as we explore Jabari and Meadow's blossoming relationship. I love the themes Entergalactic explores, and it's a really sweet and well-told story, even if it's a little cliche at times. The music is truly what separates this from your typical animated film. The story, from certain scenes and plot beats, were all crafted from the narrative of the music. Whether it be the track New Mode, which sets up Jabari's mentality and where he's at in the beginning of the show, or Angel, capturing the moment that he first lays eyes on Meadow, or Willing to Trust, playing over this really sexy and well done montage of these two characters falling in love with each other. Each track ties in with the unfolding narrative really well, and it's super creative and well executed. I love montages, and Entergalactic abuses them at regular intervals while the romantic narrative unfolds. Some people, however, might find this to be a slight issue, as there are so many, but if you enjoy the music and the visuals, you should enjoy them. And Entergalactic is super pretty. I love the animation style, it works so well here. They do an excellent job of bringing New York City to life and having it almost be its own character, with the beautiful use of different environments and a slick art style. Nearly every scene has a frame worthy of being a wallpaper. The characters are all super lovable and brought to life perfectly by their voice actors. Cudi was really impressive and super charismatic as the protagonist Jabari. Jessica Williams brings so much personality to her character Meadow, and I was happy to see the film balance her as a dual protagonist after the first couple of chapters. Timothée Chalamet was excellent in his voice acting debut as Jabari's friend Jimmy, and Ty Dolla $ign was a surprise hit as Kai. He did really well considering he's never really acted before, and his character ended up being one of the funniest of the entire show. I especially love how the characters are modeled after their actors. All of the designs are super cool and filled with so much personality. The story does a great job at remaining engaging, although it isn't entirely original. We've seen this rom-com formula used before, and Entergalactic doesn't try to get too fancy with its narrative. It's more focused on telling a simple and relatable story effectively, with fun characters and well-written comedy. And that was one pleasant surprise for me. The show is really funny. I was expecting a more serious tone, but no, the show is quite easygoing and has some excellent bits throughout. I was a little disappointed that there wasn't a more emotional moment in the narrative. There are certainly some sweet and more impactful scenes, but nothing overly hard-hitting when it comes to delivering emotions, which I feel was a missed opportunity. Cudi as an artist has always been open about his struggles, so it's kind of odd to have his character, Jabari, be rather conflict-free. I would have liked more depth with his character, as he doesn't really have any noticeable flaws. Even the central conflict between Jabari and Meadow is built off of a misunderstanding, which seems to be a little too simple. And some of the dialogue between the characters can sound very unnatural, but given its tone and the animation style, it's pretty easy to forgive. And while the story is self-contained, it does set up a potential second season. I really hope Netflix does renew Entergalactic, because I think there's a lot more to offer in this story world and character relationships. Overall, Entergalactic is a really entertaining and easygoing show that's absolutely worth your time, especially if you're a fan of Kid Cudi's music. The beautiful animation combined with Cudi's album bring this rather cliche romantic comedy to life in a way we haven't really seen before. If you had any concerns about the quality of this series, let me assure you that this is a good show. The fun characters, acting and comedy make this an extremely enjoyable experience that accomplishes what it sets out to do. While the story isn't breaking new ground narratively, and we have seen this kind of thing before, the lovable characters, beautiful animation, and tailor-made music elements set Entergalactic apart. With that being said, if there is a season 2, I hope more care goes into the narrative, and they flesh out some of these characters with more flaws and personal struggles, while touching on some darker themes. My final verdict for the Netflix special Entergalactic is a 75 out of 100. I was really pleased to see this live up to my expectations. You can tell that a lot of love and care went into making this, and I really hope it does well enough to warrant a second season. I think it'll be a comfort movie for plenty moving forward, and if you haven't checked it out already, it's definitely worth your time. This is For the Record, thanks for watching.